We are on our last page of the Antarctic book. So in this video, I'll be making page 8 with you, and we'll do the inside of the front and back covers. So I'm going to cut these measurements with you, but I'm going to hold this up so you can write it down. The A piece, you're going to need 2 A pieces, so that's 8 1/8 by 4 5/8. So that's 2 lines after 8 and 2 lines after 4 1/2. B is going to be 8 1/8. Again, that's 2 lines after 8 by 6 3/4. And C is a pocket, 9 1/8, 2 lines after 9 by 4. Okay, so I'm going to cut that with you. I will put that right there so I can see it. And let's cut 2 pieces, 8 1/8. So I will go right to my 8 and go 2 lines past that. By 4 5/8, so go up to 4 1/2, go 2 lines past that, and do the same thing again. Take this piece, 4 1/2, and then 2 lines after. Oops, where are we? 4 1/2, 2 lines after. Okay, so the B piece, grab a piece of paper, is 8 1/8. Go up to 8, 2 lines past that. By 6 3/4. So I'm going to take my pencil and mark this B. These 2 are A pieces. And our pocket is 9 by 4. I'm going to look over here. I believe I have a scrap piece that's 4 inches. Very common size. Nope, not quite. Okay, this will do. 9 1/8. So 2 lines after 9. By 4. Okay. All right, and let's score this. Notes over here. All right, so let's take our A pieces and score them with the 8 1/8 inch side at the top. Let me see, hold on. That's not right. I want it with the smaller side at the top. So I am going to have to fix this on your cut list. We want the shorter side at the top. Okay, so B is a top flap. So I'm going to have the shorter side at the top. C is a pocket. I'm going to have my longest side at the top because that's the side that is open. All right, so let's get this taped up. All right, and let's press this all down and fold it. Okay, so cut my corners of this pocket. And then fold that. Okay, so let's bring down our pocket page, page 8 over here. These two A pieces are going to go like this. Well, they're going to be one's across the bottom and the other one is on top of that, right there. So let me make sure that everything looks like it fits. It's nice to dry fit it before I stick it down. Yes, and that looks good. So I am also, like I said, I am going to, the part that I'm going to lift up, I'm going to corner round that. So let me see, I just want to make sure. Yes, I am going to corner around that, and that will let everyone know to lift this up. So I'm going to give that a nice corner rounding. It's just kind of sometimes easier to do before it's in the book. Okay, so let's take off the backing of this first A flap and put that right along the bottom. So I have a little bit of space left and right, not much, just a hair, and I'm going to bring this right to the bottom of the page. Okay, take off the backing of the other A piece, turn this around, and I've got it lined up left and right. It's the same, it's right on top of that first A flap, and I'm going to gently push this down. Let's see if that looks like on the other side. Good, nothing sticking out. Okay, voila. So that's gonna go like this now. Love it. So let me just put something on there for now. Let's take the B flap and take off that backing and put that right over top. I'm gonna round this too, mine as well, make it the same. Okay. So I've got it lined up with this other flap right here on each side, and then I can guide it down to the top of the page. Okay, so that's going to go underneath. I'm slightly crooked here. Let me straighten that out. Okay. And then let's put the pocket. So I'm just taking off the bottom piece. And that goes right above this score line here. You want this flap to fold over, so give yourself like a 1/16 of an inch, a little 1 tick mark on a ruler. Just eyeball it. You want to just be above that score line. Now this flap goes right over top. Okay, so this will go down first and then that one. So let's get our magnets on there so we can hold everything down. And I'm going to start with these two. This book went pretty quick, for me anyway, but I enjoyed it. Hope you did too. But the decorating takes probably another hour or two, I would say. Even after you decorate the pocket pages, just putting in all the photo mats and booklets, it takes a little while. But it's very practical. You will have a lot of space here for pictures. And let's fold this over. Okay, and now we want this one to lay on top of this one. So I have to put this one down first. And the way I'm going to do that, I believe, let's see, I'm trying to decide if I want 2 here. Yeah, I think I'm going to, I could put 1 down here and then 2 over here on top of there. I think that's what would work. So let's put 1 in the middle here first. See where this lands. This should land on our pocket. Before I tape it down, I just want to flip this over and make sure where it lands. It lands right about there. So this is a good amount of space from the top, and it will land far enough down on our pocket. You just never want to be half on and half off a pocket. I'm going to put 2 magnets here that will land on top of this. That's that. And then I will show you how I decorated this. Voila. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did to decorate that, and then we will cut out our pockets for the inside and outside cover. Okay, so the 8th page, we have Mama Polar Bear right here with her cub. And this looks like the 8x8. Yes, it definitely is. This is from the 8x8 collection, and I put her right on there. And so I laid it on here, and I put little measurements so I didn't cut off the cub, and I'm just below her feet. You can see right there. When you lift up, I have an 8x8 piece of that map, and I cut right down the middle, right here on this line, and put it right on here, top and bottom. So I did have to trim a little bit, I think, off the bottom and sides, but it fits pretty much right there, and you get your map. When that comes down, you have this, looks like ice, frozen lake right here, top and bottom. So I put the Mama Bear. This is a chipboard piece. On this side, I have the 8x8 piece of the frozen lake with the iceberg there. This was a leftover piece, I believe, from, it's got that lake right here also. But that was a leftover piece, and I cut right above the word Arctic World and then made a pencil mark, because I just didn't want to cut right in the middle of those words. So I made that cut first and then made the pencil mark for the bottom. On the inside, I have a photo mat. This is just ice. It was left over, so a nice 4x6 will fit there. And this is a leftover piece from the 12x12 of the wolf and her cub. And that's another photo mat right there. So there's lots of room here for pictures. For the pullout, I used an 8x8. This has got the seashells here. And that is that. So both inside, front and back, I have a nice pocket. This pocket is 9.5 by 5. So this is 4.5 inches here. And I'll show you real quick before we put those down. But the leftover pieces, I have an oblong piece here, so I just made a nice, it looks like a portfolio travel wallet. And I have a leftover 12x12 piece of Mama Bear there. So I cut her right down the middle. I think I cut the nose first, and then, you know, it fit, basically. So let me just tell you real quick that this piece winds up being 8 1/4. by 7 7/8, and that will fit a 12 by 12 piece of the bear. And then there's a photo mat. This was a leftover piece, so I just took some plain cardstock, put it on the other side, put a piece of chipboard. And there is a magnet under here like we did in the beginning, and I took off the sticky part and put the other magnet on the back of this photo mat. So that won't go flying around. Okay, the other pocket has the Arctic world here. I put a chipboard polar bear, and this is just a die cut of one of the ephemera cards from the 12 by 12 pack. And I could look around. I put the magnet on the other side, so that's not going anywhere. And maybe there's just some space here for extra things. If I go on a trip or whatever, I'll put some brochures in there. So that is the book. Let me show you real quick how to do the pockets. But before I do, I'll show you real quick again. The front cover was a 12 by 12 piece of the polar bear. Chipboard piece right here. It says round about the North Pole. There's a penguin here. The side is just the ice water frozen lake there. And this is the frozen area also on the other side. So I just think that is beautiful like it is. I didn't have to embellish too much. And that's it. So let me cut these pocket pieces with you to pay for the inside covers. And let's take a piece and cut this 9.5 inches. By 5, so I should be able to get 2 pockets out of this one sheet. And we'll score this with the longest side facing the top. Do the same thing here. I'll line that up. There we go. And I'll take that. I pretty much, well, no, I'll have plenty left over here. Not quite a whole roll of tape was used on this book. I think I started with a fresh roll. let's bring down our base album. And I am going to make a bonus book out of these pages. I'm going to change the order around, and that will be coming out next week. So stay tuned for that. If you're subscribed, you'll be notified. And it's amazing how different this same exact book can look with different paper. So it's meant to just give you other ideas, and you might like that bonus book and want to make it, and it might spark ideas of other paper collections you have. So right now I am coming right about where we have a ½ inch from the bottom, and we have our cover sheet right here that we put on in the beginning. And I'm just gonna put that pocket down right there. And then I won't take off the sides until I get some paper back here. But at least I have this on here. I did put a magnet behind her so I wouldn't forget. I have put down my design paper before. I had to lift it up because I didn't put that magnet there, so I just wanted to put that there ahead of time. So in about another ½ inch. And here's the pocket. All right, and these pages have got a lot of flaps, a lot of booklets are going to be inside. So this 3 3/4 inch space between will give you a lot of room, and your pages will lay nice and flat once you put the pictures in here. So that is it. I hope you like it, and I will be back next week to show you a different paper collection that I put on this book. Thank you for watching, and if you have any friends that like to do this craft, just spread the word. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.